What's going on, guys? Lone Wolf 2864. It has been a while since my last gameplay commentary, and I do apologize for that. But don't worry, this video is going to contain quite a bit of details that were just released today regarding Battlefield 4 and some pretty exciting stuff. So, I believe this is actually my first commentary on my newest gaming PC. You might have seen the video that I posted about a month ago, a little over a month ago. Completed a build and got everything up and running, and I am extremely impressed with the overall performance of this PC. I am not disappointed whatsoever. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will leave a link in the description to that. I highly recommend you check that out if you're interested in any of the parts that I got. But onto the details that were released today. There was an article that EA UK actually put out. They're doing a series called The Road to Battlefield 4, and like each week I think they release a new article. But this week's article, we get to see the first high-res images of all three multiplayer factions for the game, and that includes the Chinese soldiers, the Russian soldiers, and of course the U.S. soldiers. Get to see each of the four classes: support, engineer, recon, and assault, and they look pretty top-notch. I do think overall, just looking at these characters, that they look a lot better, a lot more polished than the ones in Battlefield 3. Some of the character models in Battlefield 3 were a little bit humorous, in my opinion, especially if you got the blowtorch after them. But on to some more of the gameplay details for Battlefield 4 that were released in this article. They go over the field upgrade system, which is taking the place of the perks in Battlefield 3. And in Battlefield 4, they are announcing that there's over 25 different perks that you can put into your field upgrade system, compared to having only 7. I believe it was 7 perks that you could choose from in Battlefield 3. So that is definitely a huge increase in the different upgrade abilities that you can run. And how the field upgrades work, of course, we already knew basically how it works, but essentially you have you pick your field upgrade. And I think there's, like they said, there's 2 predetermined lists. You have an offensive and a defensive upgrade list, and just from the way that the list is laid out here, I don't foresee anybody choosing the offensive loadout over the defensive loadout. I'll just go over that real quick. I mean, for your offensive field upgrade, you get sprint, ammo, more grenades, and reduced fall. Which the reduced fall is going to limit the amount of damage you take from higher falls. So then the defensive upgrades give you armor, upgraded armor, cover, flak, and quick regen. Now the armor, they say, is supposed to decrease the amount of I guess damage you take to the chest. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't really feel like any kind of damage modifiers should be in the game, in just my opinion. I think you're walking a tight line when you're trying to balance that. So I don't know how I feel about that. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But the cover and flax are, of course, the same as they are in Battlefield 3, but the quick regen is supposed to limit the amount of time it takes for your health to start regenerating after you take damage. So just looking at that, like I said, I don't see any reason to run the offensive upgrade list over the defensive upgrade list. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out in the beta. But then they have 2 class-specific upgrade lists that you run, and we don't really get a lot of information about that, other than the fact that, like they mentioned, for the assault kit, you get a combat medic and a grenader upgrade path. They don't go into details what that does, but then the engineer, you can choose between one that specializes as a mechanic or an anti-tank soldier. So I imagine mechanic will obviously have something to do with your ability to repair vehicles, and then anti-tank soldier would, I guess, give you more rockets or increase your explosive ammunition count or whatever. So that's pretty much the details that we learned from the field upgrades. On to one of the biggest discussion topics, suppression, and they go into detail here about how the new suppression model is going to be working out. So as we learned from E3, the suppression mechanic has been tweaked quite a bit, and it's mainly being implemented for light machine guns and sniper rifles, with the amount of suppression being reduced in close quarters combat. And they also say that they have changed the effect, the overall effect of the way it looks when you're suppressed, as well as the bullet deviation has been removed from the game, and in its place they've put in a scope sway effect that they claim is similar to the way your scope sways when you're suppressed as a sniper in Battlefield 3. So I think that is a huge step forward in, as far as the suppression mechanic. I like the balance that they have when they're trying to keep the suppression mechanic in the game, but greatly reduce the overall effect from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4. I really think this is going to work out a lot better, and I can't wait to see how it plays out in the beta. They also go over some of the new gadgets that are coming in. They have the portable laser designator now is going to be taking the place of the SOFLAM from Battlefield 3. And what this does is it's basically, you can just, I guess, pull it up as like a quick gadget, point it at whatever you're wanting to lock onto, and then call in or lock onto that target, whereas in the past with the SOFLAM you would have to actually deploy it down onto a solid surface and then look through it, or you could actually leave it and let it automatically lock on the targets for you. What the only downside to the new portable laser designator is you don't have the option of just leaving it to automatically lock on. You have to physically pull it up, look through it, lock onto the target, and go from there. So that will be, of course, for the Recon class. For the Engineer class, they say that they have given a lot more variation in anti-vehicle weapons, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will be happy to know that the wire-guided missile, the FGM-172, will be coming back, and I know a lot of guys will be happy about that. For the support class, you will be getting C4 and Claymores, just like we had in Battlefield 3. And they're also giving you the XM25, which I believe is the grenade launcher that we saw in the E3 alpha footage. And you will also now be able to deploy a remote mortar, which is supposed to be able to allow you to call in indirect fire from a distance. So we haven't seen any footage of that, and I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out. And finally, for the Recon class, they've gotten a much needed boost to mobility. And they're also kind of, I guess, implementing the Spec Ops style from Battlefield 2, kind of mixing it in, where you can actually carry a carbine, and as well you get C4 and Claymores just like the support kit has. And to top it off, you also get the motion sensor balls that were in Bad Company 2. Those will be coming into Battlefield 4 as well. So it sounds like the Recon class has gotten a huge boost, and I'm glad to see that. I definitely will be trying to run more with the Recon class now, especially with the fact that you can get carbines and DMRs. I think that'll actually boost that class a lot. And not only can you run carbines and DMRs for the Recon class, but you can run those for any class in the game if everything we've seen is true. So that's going to add a different element to the game, and be cool to see how all that turns out. Also for the Recon class, though, if you still want to play the standard sniper rifle layback style, you can actually have the ability to zero in your sights now from a distance, so it makes those long range headshots a lot easier. So that's a good thing, and you still will be able to access the MAV, the tugs, and the radio beacon just like we had in Battlefield 3. For the assault class, it's still going to be I guess the everybody's run and gun kit, like they say in that article. Really, I guess the only big differences or additions that they cover in this article is the first aid pack, which is supposed to allow you to heal a single soldier over time, and also the addition of the 40mm flashbang rounds, which will, I guess, help clear rooms and stuff. So that's cool to see. But again, if you want to see the full article or see a complete list of all of the new specializations, you can check that out in the link below. And they've got all kinds of different specializations now. I think just some of the ones that I glanced at and saw were the ability to hold your breath longer when you're steadying your scope. They have an advanced spot mechanic, I guess, where it makes it easier, or it actually increases the time that the enemies are spotted once you spot them, and just several other things. One of them, I think, actually is supposed to give you the ability to heal people or heal occupied vehicles when you're nearby them, or when they're nearby a soldier that has that certain specialization. So just all kind of different specializations that I really recommend you go check that out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I would appreciate it if you give me a like if you learned something on this, and let me know down in the comments section what you think about all the new features, and I'd really like to hear from you guys. But I'll catch you later, guys. Have a good one.